Actors Technique Tuesday. Well, it's Wendy Alane Wright, founder of this group, Talent Managers for Actors, and founder of Hollywood Winner Circle Academy, and run a Facebook group that helps thousands and thousands of actors. So I guess now we have almost 100,000 actors here. Isn't that exciting? We should have some sort of celebration when we hit 100,000. I also have a YouTube channel where I've been giving guidance and advice for years about how to become an actor. And I also was a manager myself and an agent before that. So I've had a lot of experience. I was a performer, a singer before that. So I've had a lot of experience in the business. I've been in it a really long time, and I love this business so much. And I just feel like you guys need as much knowledge as you can and guidance and support to help you get where you're trying to go. It is a hard business, but anything is possible. And if you really work hard and you figure out who you are and you learn that that's enough and that's good enough, that's great. And you package who you are and your talent and you put it into really good materials and send it to people, other people can get excited about you too, and it can help you get to the next levels of your career. I have said before that my thrill is to help new people. That seems to be where my passion has always been my entire life. It is not to be coordinating the schedule of celebrities, working at the level where people already have careers. It doesn't interest me. I've done that in the past, and that was fun. It was exciting, you know. I mean, like, oh, you're a star. But what really drives me is when someone's new and they've never had an agent before. And to get their first agent, it feels like such a sense of accomplishment. And it's kind of like affirmation that you're on the right path and maybe you do belong in this business. And I know it means a lot to you to sign with new agents, to sign with an agent for the first time. I also love when an actor gets their first network television credit, you know, even if it's their first couple of lines on a series. It's so exciting because it's what you really are dreaming of doing. And I know you want to go even beyond that. You'd love to be a series regular, but you got to start somewhere. And those first jobs are really exciting. They're great. And when you get your first role in a real film, like a feature film, it feels awesome. It's like, I'm doing what I love to do. And you're on set and it's not a student film anymore. And, you know, you're actually getting paid to be there. And it's a SAG project. It's just exciting to get your first wins in this business. And I love helping actors do that. And I'm really, really good at it. So while we are here at TMFA on Tuesdays, we have lots of teachers who are teaching you about the craft. And that is really, really important because your craft is really how deeply have you focused on the actual work of being an actor. Not the fantasy of it, but actually what does it take to take a script and break it down and make it believable and add yourself to the role and bring yourself to the moment and be fully in the moment so that you can be relaxed and respond and react in the moment in an authentic way. And be able to do that is the art of being an actor. And I love the art of acting. I love it. And I love all that you guys do, you know, that you get out there and you make movies and TV shows that the rest of the world gets to sit and watch and take us away into some magical place. And I'm thanking you all for doing that. I also know that doing that sometimes goes against your own people in your own family because they're like, you know, maybe you should get a real job. How do you know that pipe dream is going to pay off? I want to just give you some courage today and some advice. The dream that you have in your mind, you see it clearly. It was planted in you. You see it. You feel it. And you know that's your destiny. And no one else can see that. No one else has that dream that you have. They have their own dreams, but they don't know your dream. So if someone in your family says, you know, I don't really see how you're going to make that happen, or do you think that's a good idea? They don't know your dream. They don't see it the way you do. So if you're serious about becoming an actor, just listen to your own instinct, your own voice, and your own calling. And they never will understand it. Sometimes they never understand it, you know. They ask you questions. Well, you've been out there for 3 years. You haven't booked anything yet. Yeah, but you've been training. You have been networking with people. You've been building your relationships. You've been auditioning. You've learned different tools and skills. You're working on your craft. You just, you know what? Pat yourself on the back. You're doing a great job. I want to give you the overview. I see so many new people who ask the same questions. And I said that in a post the other day, we bring that on ourselves by creating a platform that helps new people, because they're going to ask all the new questions. And I remember talking to my cousin, who's a real estate investor, the first time before I bought some property. And I talked to him, and he was telling me all these things. And before I called him, I thought, wow, I'm going to be a newbie in this conversation. I'm not a newbie in this entertainment conversation, but I was a newbie in the real estate conversation. And I was like, I'm going to ask him all these questions that I really want to know. But to him, they're probably like, okay, those are great, but here's what you really need to know. And it just makes me remember that new people, you guys have lots and lots of questions. And that's why TMFA is here to answer as many of them as we can. Use TMFA hashtag. And we will sort later by the hashtag. If we don't see your question, we try to sort later and go through and answer questions we haven't seen or maybe we missed on the page. We are here to help, and we want to help you. I would ask you to think about the reason why you want to be an actor. There's no right or wrong answer to that. Some people want to do it for fun as a hobby, and they want to do it like, I want to do community theater, and I want to keep my day job, and I just want to be a part of something theatrical. I love doing plays, and we rehearse at nights and on the weekends, and I get to still take my kids to all their games, and it's fun, and I like it. And it gives me a creative outlet. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Keep doing that and enjoy it. If you are thinking, I want to be a series regular on television, whoa, now we're talking about a completely different path, right? Now we're talking about really going after it the way you go after something when you haven't eaten for a week. I mean, you're like going at it with all your heart, soul, and mind and body. And that takes a completely different level of commitment. So we've got 100,000 people here almost. I shouldn't say that until we do. I'll wait until I can say that. It's 97,000 or something like that, I think. Anyway, not everybody here wants to be a star. Not everybody here wants to be a series regular. Not everybody here wants to do guest star work. Some people don't want to do TV at all. They just want to do films. Some people want to be movie stars. Some people just want to do films. And that's great. It doesn't matter what you want to do. Do whatever you want. What I'm concerned with, and what I'm here every day for in my life, is to make sure that whatever it is you want to do, that you're living up to your potential. That you are putting yourself out there 1,000,000% to get whatever it is you say you want. You see, I don't have a judgment on what you want. I don't care what you want. I don't care what it is. What I care about is, are you living your life in a way where you're not getting in your own way about what you want, right? That you are not the reason why you're not getting what you want. That your fear or your self-doubt or any of those things aren't keeping you from your fuller potential or from experiencing things that you really dream of. And I'm not saying I do that perfectly. I am human. All humans do this. There are ways in which I sabotage myself. There are things I do that get in the way of results I want to get in some areas and not in others. So we all have to take an honest look at ourselves. And for me, I've always wanted to fully express myself in the best version of me that I possibly can for as long as I can before I die. So kind of my goal is to, what is it you want to be, Wendy? What do you dream of? What do you want to accomplish now? Okay, let's go do it. We got this much done, this much done, this much done. Now what's in the way? There's something in the way from the next step. Let's figure it out. If I have to go to therapy, AA, read books, subliminals, whatever I got to do, I got to get past that so I can go to the next step and the next step. Then I live my life really free and happy and thrilled in that space that I've created for myself. And then I have another idea, a dream or a goal. Ooh, I want to do this. Now I'm going to have new things I have to deal with, as you will. Okay, well, what's in the way? Some of it comes easy. Others I'm going to block because we're always blocking ourselves a little bit. You know, we don't want to be rejected. We're afraid to lose love. We're afraid we might not be good enough. We're afraid we might be good enough. We're afraid we might be as good as we think we might be. All of these things, it doesn't matter what these things are, the fears that we have as human beings, it tries to shut us down and protect us from getting hurt, but it goes overboard. And protecting us from our own dreams and our own experiences, we have to counteract that in humanity. We have to counteract that, right? So we have to listen honestly about what's happening here. And is something trying to get in my way of what I want to experience? And if so, how can I shut that down? That's really important when you're an actor, any person, any human being. So how do you achieve goals? You got to write them down. You got to write them down. And you can hear that a million times, but I promise you, you got to write them down. There's a book called The Artist Way, which I did years ago, which I'll probably do again. It's so every artist should do it, right? It is so amazing if you start writing out what your thoughts and feelings are and your ideas and your dreams, write them down. They don't become, you don't move down the path towards those things until you write them down. And the Artist Way has this exercise in the morning called morning pages, where you roll out of bed and you just write whatever comes to you without a filter. Doesn't matter what it's about, doesn't matter how long it is, doesn't matter. You just write so that your channel is clear, that you just clean, you just let it all out. And as you do that every day, you're just more in touch with who you are and what you want. And you're getting used to being free enough to let it out without blocking. So it's a wonderful practice. And I think people who do the Artist Way tend to do morning pages for years and years and years and years, long after they take do the workbook. I love the Artist Way, and writing down what you want. You make a list of your goals. And I think since we're Technique Tuesday, I think it's important to look at what is an actor's life and what is anybody's life. What is your life? What is a human being's life? It's your heart and soul, your mind, your body. It's all of those things, your mindset, the actions you physically take, the thoughts you have, the dreams you have, all of those things, you have to be working on all of them, not just one. So when you're an actor, I always say there's three things. There's your craft. Your craft, it's critical. Your package, your marketing materials, and your mindset. And actually, I've said it in 3 M's before. It might be easier to remember for you guys. Mastery of your craft being number 1. Mastery of your craft. Your marketing materials and your mindset. These 3 components are what makes a successful actor. So mastery of the craft means you are working on your acting skills endlessly. I see posts sometimes, well, how long should I be taking acting classes? I don't know, till you're so good that we're blown away by your performance. And how long does that take? As long as it takes. As long as it takes. And whatever level of acting you're at right now, next year you'll be better. And the next year you'll be better. And the next year, in 10 years you'll be better. In 20 years you'll be better. You'll be different. So you're growing. It's like you're always a new version of who you were. Every year you're blossoming into a newer version of who you are. So the acting training is about going deeper than you did before, every year deeper, uncovering more layers and bringing more to the work, right? Nobody starts out. I've seen a couple people this week post in the, I'm scared of that I don't have a lot on my resume. It's okay to not, it's okay. It's okay to not have stuff on your resume. No one is born with a resume, right? Your job is to create a resume. Your job is to create it. Well, how do I know agents want me? They don't want you yet. That's okay. You don't need an agent yet. You need to learn how to act. That's the number one thing. A lot of people do monologues and they have scenes and they throw up clips on think they have demo reels and all this stuff. When we look at the work, it doesn't mean it's good enough for television yet. So especially in a group where there's so many new people, it's going to take time to get good. And I want you guys to give yourself the grace that it takes to get good, the time that it takes to, don't expect extraordinary results right off the bat. Don't expect to get signed in the first few years or get on television right away, because you have to get good. And some of you have trained with some really good people and you are really good now. And that's great. That's great. So then what you do, and then some of you have trained with some people, and maybe you didn't learn what you needed to learn, and you need to keep training and get better and get better and get better, right? At some point, your work is going to be believable, because I think I've seen thousands of demo reels over the last 20 years. I mean, I've seen thousands and thousands and thousands of clips and actors and showcases and college events where we look at the actors that come out of Juilliard or Yale or wherever. Tons of actors work. And either we believe it or we don't. That's it. We either believe it's happening or it's not. We don't. And there's a threshold where you cross into the believability of your work, where we watch and we're like, man, we were taken on the journey because you were so connected to the experience that you believed it, that your body, mind, and soul were in it fully. And it was so believable that it transferred into our body and we could feel it. That's what an actor does, right? An actor feels it so truly and completely in their body that we can pick it up in ours and feel it too. And when it's authentic and when it's real, when it really feels real, then we really feel it. But if it doesn't really feel real on your end, it never will feel real on our end. So what is your job as an actor is to figure out what strategies you have to take to learn how to make it feel real for you. Some actors might do Strasberg, some do Meisner, some do Chubbuck method, some do Alexander technique. You know, some actors do a combination of all of that. And in a script, they use different techniques for different moments, whatever it takes to make it real for you so that it can be real for us. So when we're watching actors work, if there are unreal moments in it, it's just a no, not yet, pass. For agents and managers, it's an ultimate pass. At this point, not ready. It's not believable yet. We don't feel it. We're not interested. When you get to the level where it is believable and it's interesting, then we're interested. Then we're interested. So your focus needs to be on getting yourself to the believable level. It's not going to necessarily happen. I took one class for 6 weeks. Now I'm believable. Really? Nah, not likely. And you might train for several years until you're believable. That's okay. Your job is to go deeper and deeper and learn how to make it believable. What does it take to make it believable? And most of the time you have to get out of your own way so that you can let let yourself experience the truth of these emotions and not be afraid of it and do it completely and be connected to the process. And when you can get to that level, and you have to do it in TV, you got to do it under the stress of auditioning, the pressure of high stakes jobs. You got to do it under a lot of different circumstances, right? If acting was easy, everybody would do it. If you had an audition yesterday that you didn't get and you were disappointed, you got to transmute that energy. You got to come into the next audition and fully connect to the character. And if you're a good actor, you might use some of the disappointment from your audition into the character that you're in, because it's true. It's true for you at that moment. Acting is such a beautiful craft. It's the love of my life. It's such a beautiful craft. And I hope that you guys are studying acting the way that you need to in order to get good at it. So if you're making a list of teachers, here at Talent Managers for Actors, we've brought in all kinds of legit teachers. So at least you understand what they sound like, what they look like, what they're talking about, what they're teaching about. Because there's a lot of people out there that are calling themselves acting teachers that are not very good. And if you just had a list of people in front of you, you wouldn't know who's good, who's not good. So one of the goals of TMFA is to help you process who's good and who's not good, where you should put your time and your money. The teachers we've brought here, Sandra Horner, Mike Pointer, Terry Berland, Darren Warren, Peter Frisch, George Gallagher, Amy Linden, James Ciccone, Jessica Hood, Julie Ann Lichty, Jim, what did Jim's name just, Jim, I just was thinking about Jim this morning. God, James Doherty. These people, Alex Collins, Jordan Woods Robinson, Amber Bohack, these are pros. Christine Horn, these are pros that have been in the business a very long time. and they're extraordinarily good teachers. And you may train with, Chris Lang as well. Amazing. Amazing. Chris is a Harvard graduate and an incredible dialect coach. And he's also a great acting coach. But you might train Holly Gagnere with many of these people over the years with the intention of becoming greater and greater and greater. Your acting teacher should scare you, not scare you, but it should be scary, the work. It shouldn't feel, it should be like challenging and like, oh my God, I'm scared of that. That's new. Or like, that seems so scary and I have to put myself out there. Yes, you do. It should feel scary, like the new things that you're doing and exciting. You should not feel bored. Also other great coaches that have been here, Howard Fine and Margie Haber, Joanne Barron, Stuart Stone, who's a casting director, Anthony Mindell, who'll be here soon, who is one of my favorite teachers. These teachers are phenomenal people, phenomenal teachers. So you don't have to really be confused about who do I train with. I want you to think about what you can train with. Any of them. They're all good. Sherry Shaw, they're all good. I wouldn't bring them here if they weren't. So they're all good. The question is, what's going to work for you? You might like certain teaching styles and you might not like others. Some teaching styles are really rough, like Killian McHugh. He's really, really, really tough. He yells, he screams a lot, and maybe that doesn't work for you. And then some people are softer and more spiritual. And I think Sherry Shaw is like that, so you got to find, what works for you. The question is, what is it you need to learn? As an actor, you need to learn scene study. That means you've got to learn how to break down scenes. If you were to have 5 auditions today, do you have a technique to break those scenes down, or are you just winging it? Do you have, and Allison Croft as well, just reminded me. I forgot someone. Let me handle this question for a second. Yeah, I'll send that. Allison Croft is another great teacher. I want to say, do you have the skills to break down scenes? Do you have the skills? Are you just guessing how to do it? If you work with different teachers, they'll teach you different methods for breaking scenes down. And then you practice those methods and you see which of these methods helps you become believable, helps make it real in your body, in your experience. So if you're really feeling it, then we can too. So work with different teachers to figure out who does that with you? Who do you have that relationship with that brings out the best in you as an actor? That brings you deeper into your craft, right? If you're going to be in sitcoms, you need sitcom training. And Scott Sedita and Leslie Kahn are the best of those, 2 of the best. And you need improv training. That's Groundlings, that's Judy Kane, that's UCB, that's Second City. You need improv. And you need to learn how to audition on tape. Because every audition, like so many auditions are all on tape now. So you got to learn that medium. You could throw your whole audition off if you don't have your eye lines right. If you don't know where your eye lines go, and I'm sure you've been listening to Jordan Woods Robinson, who'll tell you that it's like 1 and 2, 1 and 11 and 1. But I still see people working over here, talking, and then this is all you see. That's not good. That's not good, right? So you need scene study, you need on camera, you need improv. If you want to do commercials, you need commercial skills. Commercial is breaking down commercial sides. It's usually very, a line, a couple lines, a paragraph. It's not a 10-page thing, right? Usually. So you got to learn how to sell a product and how to speak with a smile or whatever it is that they're asking, and how to bite and like, which is basically, you taste something and you smile with your eyes. So that's you've got to learn the techniques that are associated with the things you want to do. So you make a list. You say, well, what's right? Well, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to do commercials? Okay, then you make that on your list. I want to do commercials, national commercials. I want to book 5 commercials a year or 10 commercials a year or whatever is your goal. So I need a Casting Networks profile, because that's where casting notices are for commercials, or Casting Frontier. And then I need to create headshots for commercials, which are usually brighter, friendlier, upbeat, energetic, trustworthy. And then you create headshots for that. And then you put like a little acting clip up there of your personality, maybe like a a little talk about something you love, something to show your personality. You might put a sample commercial up there. It's just get some commercial copy off of the internet and like tropical orange juice, blah, blah, blah. But you got to do it well. There's a difference between just doing things and doing it well. Doing it well is how you book the job. Just doing it is like, who cares? Who cares? Or as my sister-in-law from Vietnam, who care? That's what she said. Who care? It doesn't matter if it's not good, right? Who cares? If you go to a restaurant and their food's not good, you're not going there again. If casting looks at a tape and the acting is just not good, we're either going to throw it out and not look at it again, or we're going to say for sure, call in a few years. Like, don't even look at this for a few years because the person really has a long way to go. So yes, so commercials, and let's say sitcoms. Okay, I want to be in a sitcom. Well, I want to be on a multicam sitcom. Okay, well, what kind of shows? And who are the actors on those shows? Let me watch their work. Who are the agents that represent those actors? Okay, those are the people I'm going to target. And what kind of clips do I need to present myself in that way? The business side of acting is everything else you do that's not actually acting. Okay, everything else you do. When it comes to packaging your craft, that's the business side. So you're not acting, you're marketing. And you're doing sales and marketing. And there's a mindset that goes along with that. And you have to sell yourself in the best possible light. So the mistake that new actors make all the time is that they package themselves completely wrong. In fact, horribly, terrible packages. So bad, nobody gives a shit. It's like bad food in a restaurant. No, nobody cares. Because the packaging is so bad. If you could have something delicious, you could have these wonderful glasses, but if you put it wrapped in shit, people are going to walk by it, right? Because the packaging is just, ugh. So you could have the nicest glasses in the world, but who's going to weed through all that shit to get to them? Nobody. So you've got to make sure your package is really, really good. It is not taught in acting classes. Not taught in acting classes. And that's not supposed to be because they're teaching the craft. And you could literally get through a whole college degree, an MFA in theater, and they still haven't taught you the packaging of your materials because they don't know. They don't know how to do that. They're not agents. They're not managers. Okay, agents and managers are the ones that should teach you that, and I'll tell you why. Agents package actors for a living. So every time they submit one of their actors to casting, they're selling and marketing their actors. That's what they do. And they know that the things they send to casting, either casting responds to or they don't. And over years and years and years of doing it, they know which things casting responds more to and which things casting responds less to. So then they start guiding their clients a little bit. We'll do a little more of this, do a lot less of that, and a little more of this. Because they have the position, the wisdom, and the years of experience to see that doesn't really work. But this usually does, or does a lot more. So let's do more of this and less of that. Now, they're the only people in those kind of positions. Your acting teacher doesn't know that. Your MFA professors don't know that. They're not agents or managers. Now, same with managers. Managers historically are in the business of packaging actors. Literally what the job is taking an actor and packaging that. Like, so headshots, we got to make sure these are professional, that they look like our actor, that they're capturing some expression and energy in the picture, that it's well lit, that the actor's not dressed in the same color as the background, that the actor knows the types of roles and the headshots match those types. So if our actor is a skinny, scrawny little actor, we're not selling him like he's a bodybuilder. That just doesn't work. So we have to know who our actor is and how to package them. Then we look through all their materials and we think, this is not good enough. This is not good enough. This might work. You need more of this. Go create something like that. Get rid of all of that. Now we've got a package that's like, we might have more success with this. Let's try this. What does the manager sell to? Agents and casting. We're going to sell this package to agents and say, do you want to represent our client? I'm a manager. This client needs an agent. Do you want to represent them? Let me see their package. I'm going to send it to them. They look at it and go, headshots, okay, yeah, that clip, I don't feel it. Okay. Or they look at it and they go, we have someone like that already. Or they look at it and go, he's good, but he's not great. Or they look at it and they go, he's perfect. We were looking for someone like that. We definitely want to meet with him. The chances of we definitely want to meet with him goes way up if we get that package really strongly put together, right? If we just send them shit, nobody's going to care. I would say that managers are very careful not to send shit to their agent contacts. We work hard to build those relationships with agents. When we have an agent relationship, sometimes they represent many actors on our roster, many actors on our roster. And we have relationships with them year after year after year. We don't damage that relationship by sending them people that can't act, people that have lousy headshots, people that have bad acting clips. Then eventually that agent's not going to work with us. So we do the best we can to clean up the package, invent the package, repackage it, and make it shiny, and give it to agents and say, here's our shiny, we worked on it, and this is a wonderful actor, and he's been in the right classes, he's got his great headshots, he's got a wonderful package. Are you interested in working with him? And even then it could still be, nope, not interested, have too many like him, too many people in that age range, he's got a good look, but I have someone that looks like him. So then we have to send it to many different agents to see who might fall in love with the actor like we did. Now, agents do the same thing. They might need a manager for their clothes. See, they don't really need managers. So let me take that back. They really don't need too many managers. Managers like to have agents, and the law requires that agents are involved. But literally, an agent can do their job without a manager. Maybe not in the kids division, because parents are so annoying, and they have so many questions, and their time sucks. So they really are. So the reason why there's a lot of managers that work with kids is so that the agent doesn't have to work with the parent, because their time sucks. And that takes the agent away from all the other clients they have and all the jobs they're doing trying to get them work. So their managers step in between. The manager handles the parent and the child, and then the agent works to get them jobs. So that's become kind of the norm. A lot of agents won't take on kid actors that don't have managers. But as an adult, an adult agent with an adult client does not need a manager involved until the client gets bigger. When the client starts to get really busy and the manager comes in and starts okay, they're working with the agent, they're figuring out, how this actor's going to be cast, where they're going to work, coordinating schedules, getting a business manager involved, a publicist involved, coordinating interviews. And there's just a lot more that goes into it the more successful the actor becomes. And the manager becomes really an important part of that process. Those relationships are really, really critical to help the actor navigate the business and the upper levels of the business. But when we're selling now, a manager and agent, they both sell to casting now. And I've said before, managers didn't used to, but they do now. And so now both the manager and the agent are taking the package the actor has and selling it to casting. There's two things to that you should understand. If the package is not good, casting doesn't want to see it. And the other thing is, casting is, you cannot please casting by being what you think they want. So that's not how it works. That's not how it works. I've said this before, I'll say it again, and I'll say it because there's a lot of new people always joining, okay? These are two makeup products. They each do different things, okay? I think this one is some kind of highlighter. It contours and illuminates cheekbones for a more radiant complexion. So if I put this on, look at how shiny my little things get. I guess so shiny. I am so shiny now. This one hydrates or something. This one, look, at the older I get, the more I have to. Intensive Restorative Cream. Revitalizing Supreme Plus Night Cream. Okay, great. It's a completely different thing. These look like two totally different things, right? They're both makeup. This is not trying to be a highlighter. And the highlighter is not trying to be a restorative cream. Why is that important? Because As an actor, you are not trying to be anybody else. You just be you. Like, this cream is just this cream. That's what it is. It's not trying to be something else. It's this cream. And either I want it or I don't. Either I want it or I don't. And this is not trying to be cream. This is a highlighter. It shows up in front of me. Either I want it or I don't. But they each know what they eat. This knows what it is. And this knows what it is. They packaged it really well. Yeah. Why is that important? Actors fail a lot in this business because they go into auditions trying to figure out, what does the casting director want and how can I be what the casting director wants so I'll get cast. That is not how casting directors think. Casting directors think, present me with all these different options and let me see what I like. I want every different kind. I want different shapes and sizes. I want different moods and attitudes and different personalities. All of them should be 20 to 30. They could all be every ethnicity. Show me everybody's personality. Show me what you can do with the script. And then after we look at all of those, we'll pick out the ones that we think mostly fit in with what's in our head, that we see in our mind with the character. There's no way you can figure out what that is. All you can do is show up and say, I do this is me. Someone else shows up and says, this is me. And then you thank you for the opportunity. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye. Right? And then the people in the casting office, they talk to each other. They talk to the writers. They talk to the producers, and they go, these are very different. Do we want this or do we want this? I don't know. What do you think? Well, let's bring this one back and try it with this, and let's bring this one back and give them something different and see what they do. All right, now they come back. You get more sides, or you get a callback or a producer session. This does this. This does this. And then they sit and look and think, okay, which one do we want? I don't know. They're both good. Got to pick one. Well, and then they have to decide. Both could be great. They're just different. And if you took that casting director and that director away and put a different one in, they may have a completely different opinion about what they want. Sometimes the writer is replaced, and that new writer might have a completely different opinion, or the director's replaced. There's the actor that was going to take the role is replaced, and now they have a new actor, and now they need new chemistry. My point is, you will never be what you think anybody else wants. You need to get a superpower, which is embracing who you are. That's the key to succeeding in show business, folks. Embracing who you are and packaging it really nicely and putting it in front of other people. Because there's two ways to work in this business. You either take that package and produce your own content, and you don't wait for anybody else to give you permission. You take what you are and you put it in your own movies or in your own network television show or in your own network, like Tyler Perry. You either package it yourself and sell it directly, or you're waiting for someone else to do it. Either way, you got to know that this is enough. This is good enough, and this is what you are. And it'll always be improving a little bit, you know? You'll always be adding some new ingredients and adding some more things to it, but ultimately that's what it is. I don't foresee this becoming a Diet Pepsi anytime soon. The essence of what you are is already there, right? The essence of who you are and what you are is already there. You're going to tweak it. You might make it a little better in this area or that area, but if you're a white woman, you are not likely going to become an Asian man in this lifetime. If you're 5'10", you're not likely going to be 5'4" anytime soon, right? So who you are is basically, that's kind of what you are, and that's okay. That's like, God, that's so great. I'm so committed to helping people understand that you are enough. The goal of an audition is to go in and present your experience of the character, not to be like somebody else, not to fit into other people, what you think other people. That's how you fail in show business, right? All these acting teachers are teaching you the craft of breaking down scripts. Great. And you have to learn that. But if you don't realize that what you are is enough and is interesting and is enough just on its own, you will always be doubting your abilities, doubting yourself, doubting, trying to be what you think other people want you to be. You're never going to be what other people want you to be. You're you. You're you. And if you stand in front of 75 different people And every one of them has a little idea of how they want you to be. What are you going to be? Whatever. I'm going to be, okay, I'm going to be like you, what you want, and you want, and what you want, and what you want. It'll never happen. All you can do is proudly be who you are. Now train it, get it as good as you can get it, polish it up nice, put it in a nice package, go in the audition room and be confident because that's what you're selling. Don't compare yourself to other things. You're all different. Even if you have 5 Black women who are 20 years old, they're 5 different human beings. None of them need to compare with each other. Or 5 Asian men, you're 5 separate people. You each have your own history, your own pains, your own experiences, your own way of speaking, the tone in your voice, your own way of laughing when you laugh. It's different than the person next to you laughing. You have things that are unique about you. And when you get a script, your job is to bring you and your laugh and your cry and your heart to the work and put it in front of people and act because you have an opportunity to have an audience, and then leave and thank them for the opportunity. That's it. And you walk out of there proud of yourself that you did that, and go back to class and get better and get better and get better. And that's the process of becoming an actor. Occasionally you'll get a call and you'll be like, you got the part. Wow, I got the part. Yeah, which project was that? Then you go through your little list of all the things you've been auditioning for, and you go, oh, it was that one. I didn't even know I did that good in the audition, but I got it. Okay, great. And then you show up on set and you do your work. You add it to your resume, go about your life. You know, you're not going to know which of those projects. There might be many of them they thought you were fabulous, but you didn't get it because there were 10 other people that were fabulous, but they happened to go with that one that time. Okay? That's part of the game. Doesn't mean you weren't good. Doesn't mean you're not good enough. Doesn't mean what you've got isn't great. Doesn't mean anything about you, honestly, because it's not about you. It's about that whatever they decided to go with fit some other box. It checked off some other thing for some other reason at that moment. If this project was cast a year later with a different casting director or a different director, producer, network, writer, it could have gone in a completely different direction. These are things you have no control over. Mastery of your craft. You have complete control over the mastery of your craft because you can determine how much do you practice, what classes do you take, how often do you break down scenes, when someone gives you redirection, do you listen and learn or do you defend what you did? Do you practice new techniques? What is your habit of practicing? When you practice a scene, do you practice it 7 different ways and try it different ways? And then are you open when it comes in the audition room? You're flexible because you weren't married to one way of doing it? What's your habit of practicing? Is it every day? Is it once a week? How many times do you take classes? These things are in your control, right? Your packaging is in your control. Where you get your headshots. Did you shoot with your neighbor? Or did you shoot with a professional who understands lighting? When you went into that headshot session, did you just express yourself, your moods, your energy? Did you know what kind of roles you're right for? And did you dress for those roles? And are you thinking thoughts? And are you really specific about who you are? Do you understand who you are? And then when you get those headshots and you put them on Actors Access, are you paying to put 5 up? Or you're just going, well, the 2 free ones, put 5, put 7, put 10, right? You have control over how many photos goes on your Actors Access. Now your acting clips, when you get the footage back, say you did a couple student films and you're like, okay, I'm waiting for student film footage so I can create my reel. And then I will say, like everybody else, like I say 1,000 times, you don't need a reel. You don't need a whole reel. You don't need an entire reel. You don't need a reel. What do you mean I don't need a reel? You don't need a reel to get started. You don't need a reel. You need a great clip, meaning You need 30 seconds of you on tape acting in a believable way in a role that you're good at, in the type of character you most likely would play. And in that work, there are levels and there are layers, and there's a beginning, middle, and end to your scene. There's a moment before to establish that you just came from a moment, that something interrupted you and you're now having another moment. There is a beginning, middle, and end where you are different in the beginning of your scene, the middle of your scene, and the end of your scene. You're not the same all the way through because that's not believable. So you've really got levels and there's an arc. And at the end of your scene, you have a moment after. And on a 35, 40 second, 1 minute clip, we can see if all those things are there. And we believe it. Either you moved us in that performance or you didn't. And if you didn't, get back to class. Keep working. It's okay. Eventually you will. Right? But if in that moment you did something that was like, ooh, that was good. An agent or manager can sign you right off of that. One clip. But it's got to be good. It's got to be good. A casting director can bring you in for auditions from that clip. That clip. One clip. You don't need a whole reel. We can see if you've got it from one reel, from one clip. We can see if you're believable from one clip. That's to get started. So what I always tell actors to do is create 3. Create 3 clips. Figure out your 3 most castable types, your 3 most castable. It doesn't mean you won't play other things, but you don't need a piece of footage for every single role you might ever play. Let's just start with the basics. So let's take myself. I'm a teacher. That's a no-brainer to do a clip as a teacher, right? Then I'm going to think, how do I make it interesting? Well, I need it to be about something. So I need to pick a scene or have a scene written that is about something. Who do teachers talk to? They talk to the student. They talk to the classroom. They talk to the parents. They talk to other teachers. They talk to the principal. Okay. What kind of conversation do I want to have in my clip? Do I want to be talking to another teacher? And if I was, what am I talking about? Am I complaining about a student? Am I praising a student? Am I complaining about the school? What's the issue? Whatever I pick, it has to be believable. And I have to find some fire in that scene because boring is boring and nobody hires boring. All right. So in that scene, maybe I'm talking to a student. Then what's the conflict? You always have to create a conflict. Is it a love interest contract between you and another teacher? An inappropriate relationship between you and the principal? I don't know. What is it? Is it you having a thing for the parent of the student? And there's kind of, you're talking to your child, your student is adorable, but you're talking to the man and there's like a thing between you two. Find something, a conflict, tension, energy in the scene. That's as a teacher. Now let's say I play a mother. Okay, who do mothers talk to? Other mothers, husbands, grandparents, the child. Okay, what is this relationship about? If I'm going to be the mother to my child, are we having a deep loving moment where I maybe misunderstood her, but then I understand her? Or am I seeing something in her I didn't see before? And now I am, and I'm like moved by who she is? Are we having an argument where she's giving me mouth because she wants something that she's not allowed to have? What is the tension, the connection, the depth of that moment? Put it on tape. Because if we watch that moment and we see a real relationship between the mother and the daughter, and there's a beautiful moment in there that makes us feel something, then that's all you needed to do. An agent or manager can see that in a clip, and so can casting. Some people say, well, I need to get no, you need to get real good. That's what you need to do. I need a reel. No, you need to get real good. So that even one clip tells us how good you are as an actor, moves us to some place that's like a beautiful place, or a scared place, or an angry place, or a hurt place, or wherever that scene is supposed to take us. You need to take us there. So that means you need to be good. In one clip, you can do that if you're a good actor. And if it's not in that, try, I always tell actors, try different scenes, different scenes. See if you can find it. Well, is a monologue okay? Some agents are fine with monologues. Some managers, fine with monologues. Some prefer scenes. So I always say have one of each, whatever. Why should you be not considered because you didn't have one? Have a monologue. You're an actor. Have a monologue. Have a scene. Have a dramatic one. Have a comedic one. Right? Pick and get coached on those scenes. Get coached on those. When we're in Winner's Circle, sometimes actors are working for weeks and weeks and weeks on different scenes until we find one that we say that's good enough to go on Actors Access. With that one, you can get representation. With that one, you're going to make people stop in their tracks and pay attention. Because most of the time we just go through, it's not good enough, it's not good enough, it's not good enough, blah, blah, blah. Then we see someone who's got it, something special there. And that's what your clips need to be. They always need to be that something special. And you're not likely going to get that from your student film footage. So if I can get you to understand that new actors, when you're just starting out, the only projects you can get are the freebies. Okay? Things that give you copy, credit, and meals. And if you've been in this business for any period of time, you know that you likely never get the footage. Doesn't ever come. But when it does come, it is not television standard. But if you create your clip yourself, like a self-tape, you can create it so that it's television standard, right? You can make sure if you get with friends and shoot clips that it looks like it came from TV, that it's that good, that the lighting is that good, that the sound is that good, that you're dressed for that character, that the focus is on you. You can control all of that. But if you're just trying to get the footage you get back from some student film project, which you didn't control the editing, you didn't control the writing or what you chose to be about, you just got picked to do something, which is lovely. Put it on your resume, but that doesn't mean it's going to sell you to casting or an agent or a manager, because I have seen thousands of reels from people's projects that are not good. They just suck. They suck. They're shitty. They're bad. But as a human, I think, well, that's lovely that the student filmmaker is practicing their craft. They're working on it. That's why it's not like award-winning television show material, because they're just a student working to get better. But their little working to get better exercise cannot be your final product to sell you to get to your next level. That's something that you did that goes on your resume. Chalk it up to experience. You had the opportunity to act. It felt freaking great. Congratulations. Be proud of yourself. But that doesn't mean it's a good thing for your package. So that's something that I work really hard in here 24/7. And even the winners who take the Winner's Circle course, we have to explain that over and over and over, because actors get married to their own material. You guys are blinded to the fact that it's not good enough. And also, you get offended easy. Actors are sensitive creatures. You say the wrong thing sometimes and people get their feelings hurt. You got to be tough skin in this business. That people might look at what you're doing right now and say, that's shit right now. But it could be better. So let's do these things and make it better. And if you're like, oh, I don't like that she said it was shit. Well, then, and then 5 people said it was shit. Well, maybe I shouldn't be an actor. Come on now. Pay attention. Make it better. Make it better, right? Look at your materials. If someone comes to you and says, like I just looked at this guy's clip. Here's a perfect example. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. For everybody here who says anytime I use an example, I'm throwing people under the bus. No, I'm not. I'm trying to teach you things. So there's this actor here in the group, and I will say his name because it helps you go to look people up and see what we're talking about. It's not because I'm throwing anyone under the bus. Ugh, I hate that sentence anyway. And I don't care. I say what I have to say anyway. But Patrick Alane. Now, some of you may have seen him post on this page. Good looking man, older man. He's got his shirt off. You've seen him on the page. Great body. During the COVID, he let his hair grow out, his beard grow out, as a lot of people did. But now it's like, well, this might be a marketable thing. So I'm thinking, this guy's got a great look. I wonder who he's signed with. Let me see if there's anything I can do to help him. I look at his reel. On his reel, so his headshots look phenomenal. Okay, he's got one that's a cowboy. He's got, like, he shows what a good shape he's in. He's got all these great pictures. But I go to the reel under videos, and it's an old reel with some footage he did from a movie he did years ago where he had a scene with the guy from The Office, Steve Carell, and some other things. But these are 20 years ago. The footage on that clip doesn't look anything like he does now. It's years ago. He's a very good actor. Solid actor. But he's selling his beautiful package the wrong way. Right? So I go under his post and I tell him what needs to change. Now, he can either change it or get offended. I probably won't get offended because if he's been in this business a while, he's got a thick skin, right? So he'll probably take the guidance and adjust it. So what I said was, like, I can see this one picture of him as a cowboy with his hat on, his beautiful smile. He looks gorgeous. I'd like to see that character just come alive in a scene. Now, how do people create clips? There's several ways. Do you do the self-tape at home? That's one way. Or you get with your friends who have cameras and you shoot a scene that looks like it's on TV. Get on location somewhere in your backyard, in an alley, in a building, in front of a garage, whatever you got to do. But shoot it so that it's on you. Or in his case, if he's playing a cowboy, maybe he's in the grass by a fence. And with a horse, I don't know what he has to do, but you can do anything. That's the beautiful beauty of having a movie camera in your hand all day long, right? This man, he plays these beautiful characters. He needs to create footage that matches those 3 most castable types. It always comes down to the same conversation. We have it with actors 24/7. It's the same thing. What are your 3 most castable types? And do you have footage for each of those? If you don't, create it. Don't count on the footage you've already got. I always say, just forget the footage you've already got. Forget it. The footage he has is 20 years old. It's him without his clean shaven. It doesn't show who he is today and what he's selling right now. So he had mentioned he's going to go out and get some. I think someone on his page was going to get new headshots. He wasn't the one. That doesn't really matter. He's got, this is beautiful. But he's 20 or 30 years older than the footage in his reel. So this tells me either this actor took a break and they're coming back into the business now years later, which means that has to come down. That's not who he is anymore. If I go to, let me see if I can find his Actors Access. If he has customized his link, I will be able to look and see what he's got on his page. I'm going to just go over here and see. Yeah. All right. Well, good looking man. Yeah, this is wrong. This is a hot mess. Woof. This is a hot mess, my brother. Not throwing anyone under the bus. Tell you what to do to correct it. In the middle column, you don't need the names of the characters. You don't need to write short or feature. Under film, it's just film. No short, no feature, just film. In the second column, we don't need the names of the characters, just whether it was lead or supporting. So that needs to change. Under television, I don't know why. Okay, you don't need the names of the characters again. What you need is, what is the level that casting hired you at? Did they give you the responsibility of a series regular? Did they give you the responsibility of a recurring character in their show? Did they give you the responsibility of a guest star? Did they give you the responsibility of a co-star? We can't see that by just the name Bruce Ford. We can't see what the level of your responsibility was. And the reason why casting looks at a resume is to see what have you done and what's the level of responsibility you've had before. So just putting the name of the character there doesn't tell us anything. There's no such category as internet. It's new media. And under theater, okay, the training is not even on the resume. The training is not even on here. So we've got a bunch of theater, and then the training is not on here. So that's a problem, and I can just see that already. There's also no, let me go to the media now. A writing clip and a demo reel. I'm going to look at this reel. If this is the same thing I saw on IMDb Pro. Yeah. It's the same thing I saw. Oh, God. No. It's the same thing that was on IMDb Pro. So his reel isn't good. Reel isn't good. And it also doesn't reflect his age now or his current look. So as an agent or manager for personally myself, I would clean up that whole mess up. I'd clean that whole mess up. The photos are great. And what I'd like to see is this character that he is in the photo walk right off the screen and have a scene. And that's what you guys need to do. You know, you need to think about your castable types and then create a scene that fits and looks like your headshot. That's the packaging part of it. Actors can stay stuck for decades because they don't understand marketing and sales. I try to cut through. I'm trying to solve that problem for you guys. You know, because you've got to understand the marketing. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that want to be actors, but only a handful gets through because they train their craft well enough. Only a handful gets through because they learn how to market and package themselves in a way that people will buy. You know, if you don't, any business, it doesn't matter what business it is. If you don't package it in a way that people will buy it, you won't sell the product. So watch Shark Tank. You'll see what I'm talking about. Some of those people come in there and they're like lousy packaging, and the sharks will not invest just from that, even though I'm like, just change the packaging. But no. Well, sometimes Lori does. She says, we're going to go in there and we're going to redo the packaging. Great. Others, I know they're not just turning it down from the packaging. They just see that the way that the business owner sees their product and is envisioning how they're going to market it is so far off from what the investor wants that it's not a fit. And they don't have to try to force things to fit because there's always more investors. So they just go on and look for something that's more of a fit. But bad packaging can keep you from selling your product. And as in the acting business, since I've been in it a long time, I would say that's one of the number one things that keeps actors from ever selling their package. There's actors in LA for 10 years have never had a guest star or co-star or series regular role, and they don't have auditions for those things. It's the truth. I really am committed to not having that not be you. I know that, you know, how far you go in this business is not in my control. I don't know. But I do know that if you really learn how to market yourself and package yourself, you'll go much, much further. And then the last thing I will talk about is mindset. Your mindset is the thoughts you have about yourself. Do you beat yourself up or do you support yourself? Do you prop yourself up or do you tear yourself down? Do you believe in yourself or do you always doubt yourself? And that is under your control as well. You are not, and your future is not dependent on whatever you've achieved in the past. Like every day is a new day. And every day you have the chance to invent yourself new. Reinvent yourself. And how do you reinvent yourself? With new habits. New habits where you're taking new actions, create new patterns, which creates new results. So the concepts about success are all concepts about mindset. So when I teach human beings how to be successful in their own lives, or when I'm teaching actors how to be successful in this entertainment business. And to me, I don't mean success like you need to be a star. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, are you working on TV and film now? Do you have an agent or manager? Are you auditioning for great projects? Are you booking some of them? And are you working as an actor? Yes or no? If you're not, let's get you there. And then when you're there, you can decide if you want to keep going. You'll decide that. That's not my conversation. You'll decide that. If you're working as a TV actor and you're working on a series, and after you're done, do you want to do another one or not? That's up to you. I'm not involved in that conversation. I'm only involved in the conversation with, is what you're doing now working? Yes or no? Are the acting skills you have good enough right now? Yes or no? If not, who should you train with? Here's my thoughts about that. Let me look at your package. Is it good? Yes or no? Are your headshots good? Yes or no? Do they fit your type right now? Yes or no? If not, let's fix it. Let me look at your clips. Are they good? Yes or no? They're not? Let's get rid of those and add new ones. Are these good? Yes. Okay. Now let's see your cover letter. Is it good? Yes or no? Does it have what agents and managers want in it? Yes or no? Then if it doesn't, let's make sure it does. Now, go to your meeting. Do you know what to say in there? Yes or no? Okay, so here's things you can say. Write them down. And then this is things you can ask them, okay? Now, go have your meetings. Tell me how it went. Good. Okay, now which one of these people do you want to go with? I feel more comfortable with, okay, here's how we decide. Here's some ideas of how you can decide. Now, go to your auditions. Now, do you have a coach to go to audition with? No? Okay, here's some examples, numbers of coaches. Go on your auditions. Okay, now we start looking at other business things. Don't post about those things. Don't post about those things publicly. You can lose jobs that way. Here's the right things to post on Actors Access, on IMDb Pro, on Facebook, on Instagram. Don't do these things. Now, do you know casting directors? Yes or no? Which shows are you right for? Do you know? Yes or no? If you don't know, then here's what you need to do. You need to watch TV and make a list of shows you're right for. Do you know who cast those shows? Yes or no? If you don't know, look them up on IMDb and figure it out. Okay, how do you network and build relationships with those people? Do you know? No? All right, let me tell you how to do that. That's how we move you from one level to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. It's a process over time, constantly adjusting what you're doing and doing a little more, something a little different, doing this, trying this, doing that. And eventually you're working on TV and film. And over time, you may think, I don't want to play those kind of roles anymore. I want to play these kind of roles. What do you got to do? You got to train the industry on seeing you in a different way. And that's another set of actions. The whole time, you got to be believing in yourself and building yourself up. And what's going to happen is a lot of the things you're trying to accomplish are not going to happen. And you're going to get wounded. You're going to get wounded. And half of the battle is getting back up after the wound. What do I mean by that? You're going to be up for a role. I had one of our HWC actors who she's just phenomenal. Okay. She's a great actress. She's booked a bunch of stuff. She's got great representation. And then she was pinned for like a big role in a big show. It was down to her and one other person. And if something she got, it would have been a game-changing role. It's the kind of role that has recognition. It's on a show that people know. There are game-changing roles. But the other person got it. Those are the things where I say you're going to get wounded. Because there's a choice that happens right then and there. Am I going to believe in myself and build myself up and congratulate myself on getting that far and be proud of myself for taking action and then take that victory and move into the next audition? Because that's the right mindset. Or am I going to say, maybe I don't belong here. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't deserve to be an actor. All the negative. You're going to push yourself down. Or you're going to build yourself up. And that's the mindset choice you have to make every day in this business. You're going to get pinned for projects you don't get. You're going to get signed onto a show as series regular and it's going to get canceled. You're going to show up and shoot your scene and then your lines are going to get cut. There's so many things that are going to happen. Your agent's going to have a baby and stop representing you. Your agency closes. Your manager decides to become an agent. Your agent decides to become a manager. Things change in life. You're also going to be dealing with the ups and downs of your business, of the industry's business, when the writer's strike happens or when COVID happens and things happen. Do you have the habit of building yourself up in the face of challenges? That's another muscle that you got to develop. When you work on your craft, your marketing materials, and your mindset, everything is possible. And you can achieve great things. You can achieve great things. There are things that help you build your mindset up. And if you have been doing any work on yourself over the years, some of you here may not have ever thought of like, oh, I can do work on myself. I didn't know. You might not have ever learned that. The people in your home may not be the kind of people that ever look at their shit and fix it. They just are, they don't really realize they have a choice in who they are. So you might not realize, but there's a whole world out there of people that that create content that helps you look at yourself and become more powerful. Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, one of my favorites, Wayne Dyer. There are people that teach you to look at who you are and change some of the things you're doing so that you get better results. And they teach you to build yourself up, not beat yourself up. And you got to become really good at building yourself up. So those are my Tuesday conversation today. I am supporting all of you in your journey, and I want you to be successful. And I am thrilled to be coaching you. I want to say thank you to all of the other moderators that are here. I could not do this platform without any of you. I mean, it would just be me trying to juggle all these people. There's no way. No way. You know, there was a certain point where we hit thousands and thousands of people in the question, and we had to have these beautiful moderators. They were already here giving of their time and energy because they care. And they just expanded into becoming the backbone of this organization, the TMFA. The backbone of the TMFA is the moderators here and the agents and managers who are kind enough to come in here and share some of their wisdom. And I want to ask you guys, just please don't DM the moderators. One of the agents today, or yesterday actually, she told me she was getting way too many DMs and she was going to back off from the page. See, that's why we say don't DM them. They're here to help. They pop in and they answer questions on the page. They don't want to answer them in their DMs. Okay, if you have a question as an actor, come right on this page and ask it. Use hashtag TMFA question, and we will try to get to it as soon as we can. And I will tell you today, go after your goals and dreams. Surround yourself with positive people who want to see you succeed. Build yourself up and know that you're valuable and wonderful and you can achieve anything. And I'm sending you all my love and my adoration and admiration for the fact that you're an artist and you're following your dreams and you're going after your craft. I love you, and I'll see you next time. I'm going to go to the beach and work on the beach. I'm going to watch the sunset, sit with my Fimmel. I work right on this. So I'll be answering your questions and doing all the other stuff that I do. And I'll talk to you later. Love you. See you later.